What do a runaway killer in Maryland, a ruthless gang leader from Honduras, and a billionaire crypto fraudster have in common? They're all on the FBI's most wanted list, and they're still out there evading justice. These are just the 10 most wanted fugitives the FBI is currently hunting. The list is longer than you can imagine. This isn't just a list, it's a glimpse into the darkest corners of crime, power, and the ongoing fight for justice. 1. Bhadresh Kumar Chetanbhai Patel. On a quiet April night in 2015 inside Dunkin' Donuts in Maryland, a seemingly ordinary employee, Bhadresh Kumar Chetanbhai Patel, bludgeoned his wife to her death. Born in Gujarat, India, Patel is now one of the FBI's 10 most wanted fugitives, accused of brutally murdering his 21-year-old wife, Palak Patel, in the store's kitchen where they both worked. Surveillance footage shows the couple entering together around 9:30 p.m., but only Patel returned. Minutes later, Palak's stabbed body was found, plunged with a kitchen knife. Patel fled the scene and returned to his apartment to collect some personal items. He then traveled to a hotel near Newark Liberty International Airport. He was last seen on April 13, 2015, at Newark Penn Station and has vanished since then. His tourist visa had expired before the murder, and there is no record of him leaving the US legally. Authorities believe he may have received help evading capture. Patel has ties to New Jersey, Kentucky, Georgia, Illinois, Canada, and India, and is fluent in English and Gujarati. Authorities believe he may be living with distant relatives or under a false identity. He is charged with first and second-degree murder, assault, use of a deadly weapon, and unlawful flight to avoid prosecution. The FBI considers him armed and extremely dangerous and has offered a reward of up to $250,000 for information leading to his arrest. Toshani Alejandro Castillo, Alejandro Rosales. Castillo was just 17 when he allegedly lured Truquan Sandy Lile to her death in 2016. What started as a promise to repay a loan turned into a cold-blooded murder and a manhunt that spanned nearly a decade. Now one of the FBI's 10 most wanted fugitives, Castillo remains a ghost, vanishing into Mexico, while a $250,000 reward hangs over his head. On the morning of August 2016, Sandy agreed to meet Castillo, thinking he would pay her back. Instead, investigators say Castillo forced her to withdraw money from an ATM before driving her to a remote area in Cabarrus County. There, she was shot in the head and left in a ravine. Her body was found days later, while Castillo had already crossed the border from Nogales, Arizona, into Mexico. He was last seen in San Francisco de los Romo, Aguascalientes, but authorities believe he may have traveled through Guanajuato or Veracruz. Fluent in both English and Spanish, he's likely using a false identity and may be receiving help from family or friends. Castillo is charged with first-degree murder and unlawful flight to avoid prosecution. He's considered armed and extremely dangerous. Uchunju Yulan Adonai Arkaga Karias. One of the most notorious names on the list is Yulan Adonai Arkaga Karias. The alleged head of the deadly MS-13 gang in Honduras, Yulan Adonai Arkaga Karias, is accused of masterminding a vast criminal empire that spans continents. His charges include racketeering conspiracy, cocaine importation, and possession of machine guns. Arkaga Karias is believed to have orchestrated massive drug shipments from Honduras into the United States, fueling violence and chaos on both sides of the border. Under his command, MS-13 has carried out brutal murders of rival gang members, and innocent bystanders are like acts meant to terrorize communities and maintain control. The FBI is offering a staggering $5 million reward for information leading to his capture. Despite an extensive international manhunt, Arkaga Karias remains at large, reportedly hiding somewhere in Honduras. Четверта Ruya Ignatova. Known as the Crypto Queen, Ruya Ignatova didn't just mastermind the OneCoin scam. She captivated thousands with promises of a revolutionary cryptocurrency that would change the world. Ignatova built a cult-like following, hosting lavish seminars and living a glamorous lifestyle funded by billions in investor money. Yet in 2017, as authorities closed in, she vanished without a trace. Last seen in Athens, her disappearance is shrouded in mystery. Rumors swirl that she orchestrated a daring escape using forged passports and secret routes through Europe's underworld. Some speculate she may even have staged her death. Known for her intelligence and charm, Ignatova remains a ghost, slipping through the cracks of international law enforcement. The FBI has charged her with wire fraud, securities fraud, and money laundering. Despite intensive global manhunts, she remains free. Her ties to Bulgaria and Germany complicate efforts to locate her. The FBI has upped the reward for her capture to $5 million. 5. Omar Alexander Cardenas. In August 2019, Cardenas allegedly opened fire outside a Sylmar barbershop, killing 46-year-old Jabali Dumas in cold blood. Witnesses say he fired multiple rounds from a semi-automatic handgun, then vanished into the shadows. Known on the streets as Dollar, Cardenas is tied to violent gang activity, including affiliations with the Pierce Street Gang and possibly others. At about 5 feet 6 inches tall and weighing up to 300 pounds, he's a dangerous man armed with lethal intent. With brown eyes and dark hair, he may also sport tattoos and wear prescription glasses. Authorities believe Cardenas fled to Mexico shortly after the shooting. The FBI has issued federal and local warrants, calling him armed and extremely dangerous, with a reward of up to $250,000 for information leading to his arrest. 6. Wilver Villegas Palomino. With a reward of $5 million on his head, he's a powerful narco-terrorist who commands fear and chaos in Colombia and beyond. A high-ranking leader of an international terrorist group, the National Liberation Army, Villegas Palomino, oversees the Army's northeastern war front, where he runs massive cocaine operations fueling violence and terror. Under his leadership, the Army's war front churns out an estimated 200 tons of cocaine every year, flooding the United States with drugs and funneling billions into terrorist activities. His criminal empire stretches across the volatile Catatumbo region in Colombia and Venezuela, where he manipulates underground networks and guerrilla fighters alike. The US government has charged him with narco-terrorism and international cocaine distribution conspiracy, hitting him with a federal arrest warrant in Texas. Wilver Villegas Palomino evades capture by operating deep within remote, rugged jungle regions along the Colombia-Venezuela border, where the dense terrain and lack of government control provide natural cover. He also relies on a loyal network of guerrilla fighters and drug traffickers. The US Department of State is offering a reward of $5 million for any information on him. Septième, Vitel Homme Innocent. Vitel Homme Innocent is one of Haiti's most dangerous and elusive gang leaders, commanding the notorious Krasberry gang from the shadows of Port-au-Prince's lawless neighborhoods. His name strikes fear because of the violent reign he's built through kidnappings, murder, and terror. Innocent's most infamous crime was orchestrating the 2021 kidnapping of 17 US Christian missionaries, including children held hostage for 61 terrifying days. His gang uses violence and intimidation to control neighborhoods, silencing witnesses and rival gangs alike. His violent legacy even ties him to the assassination of President Jovenel Moïse, cementing his role in Haiti's ongoing crisis. In October 2022, he ordered the kidnapping of a US couple, Jean and Marie Odette Franklin. Tragically, Marie Odette was murdered during the attack, adding another dark chapter to Innocent's criminal saga. He moved through a web of corrupt officials, fragmented law enforcement, and competing gangs, often slipping through raids and police checkpoints. Rumors swirl that he hides in fortified underground bunkers or safe houses scattered across the volatile capital. Despite international efforts, he remains a ghost. The FBI has placed a $2 million reward for information leading to his arrest. 8. Fausto Isidro Meza Flores. Infamously known as El Chapo Isidro, he stands as one of Mexico's most elusive and violent drug lords. Leading the Meza Flores transnational criminal organization, his cartel commands a vast narcotics empire trafficking fentanyl, cocaine, heroin, methamphetamine, and marijuana into the United States. His evasion tactics are sophisticated and brutal. He employs a tight-knit inner circle of armed enforcers who guard his locations with ruthless efficiency. These safe houses, often hidden in remote, rugged terrain, are fortified with high walls, surveillance systems, and multiple escape routes, making raids perilous and costly. His cartel leverages a web of corrupt officials and informants that provide timely warnings about police operations, allowing him to disappear before authorities arrive. Despite being arrested multiple times, with at least 4 known detentions between 2011 and 2015 in Sinaloa, Meza Flores managed to slip free each time, often due to alleged corruption or interference from local authorities. Constantly on the move, he uses encrypted communications and false trails to stay one step ahead. The FBI placed a $5 million reward on his head, underscoring the urgency to capture him. 9. Ryan James. Wedding. Once an Olympic snowboarder soaring down the slopes at the 2002 Winter Games, Ryan James Wedding now sits atop the FBI's most wanted list. His descent from athlete to alleged drug kingpin is as stunning as it is criminal. Known by aliases like El Jefe and James Conrad King, Wedding is accused of leading a violent transnational drug trafficking operation responsible for funneling hundreds of kilograms of cocaine from Colombia through Mexico and the US and into Canada. Far from a small-time dealer, authorities say Wedding's organization employed cartel-style tactics. His operation is linked to multiple homicides and attempted murders, aimed at silencing witnesses and rivals. The scale and brutality of his alleged crimes have drawn international attention, with the US Department of State offering up to $10 million for information leading to his arrest, one of the largest rewards ever for a fugitive of his kind. Wedding has evaded capture by going underground in Mexico, where he's believed to have leveraged connections with powerful local criminal networks. He uses false identities, encrypted communications, and possibly plastic surgery to mask his movements. His ability to move between jurisdictions and operate in regions with high cartel influence has made tracking him a daunting task for law enforcement. Authorities are intensifying the manhunt, coordinating efforts across the FBI, DEA, and international agencies. Decimo, Francisco Javier Roman Bardales. The now captured M13 gang leader, Francisco Javier Roman Bardales, masterminded assassinations, extortion rings, and drug smuggling corridors stretching from El Salvador through Mexico and into the United States. Under his direction, MS-13 not only maintained a violent grip in Central America, but embedded itself in US communities, sowing terror coast to coast. With a $250,000 reward on his head, Roman Bardales eluded capture for years. He moved between safe houses in El Salvador and Mexico. US and Mexican authorities tracked encrypted communications, intercepted cartel courier routes, and eventually pinpointed him hiding in Teocelo, Veracruz, a remote mountainous town far from MS-13's usual turf. On March 17, 2025, he was arrested without incident in a joint FBI-Mexican federal operation. Just 2 days later, he stood before a federal judge in New York, facing charges including terrorism, racketeering, and narco-trafficking. These 10 fugitives are just a glimpse into a vast, dark world of crime. Every tip, every lead, every shared piece of information is a critical step toward bringing these dangerous individuals to justice. Stay informed, stay vigilant, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications. Together we can keep our communities safer and bring justice to those who commit crimes.